finishing in the top four or winning a trophy? What's the better season? Hello and welcome back to my channel over and over again, which features everything to do with Arsenal. So in this video today I'm just looking at what's the difference between finishing in the top four or winning a trophy, and which is the better season. Of course, this is on the back of the fact that both Manchester clubs and Chelsea have all been knocked out of Europe in the last week or so, but obviously they've all finished in the top four, whereas us on the other hand finished outside the top four but won the FA Cup. So what constitutes the better season? Now for me, being an Arsenal fan, I've always, at the start of every season, my ultimate aim is to see us win a trophy. Now we normally set off with 4 trophies that we can win. If we end the season having won at least one of them, for me that's a successful season. If it happens to be the Premier League, even better. If it happens to be the Champions League, then fantastic. But as long as we've won one of them trophies, for me that's a good season, and it's a successful season, and it should never be looked on at anything less than that. Now I know that there's an argument about finishing in the top 4 with the Champions League qualification and the money that brings, and also the fact that it possibly makes you more appealing for certain players to come and join you in the transfer window. And I'm not arguing with that. You know, we finished in the top 4 for a number of years, but for me, if you're not going to win a trophy, that can only be looked on as a consolation prize, and we was happy to accept that consolation prize for a number of years when we didn't win a trophy, but we finished top 4. But that's all it should be looked on. It's a consolation prize, and it's not a trophy. It doesn't mean that you've had a brilliant season. It just means that you've done the minimum for a club like Arsenal, certainly, and Manchester United and maybe Chelsea. You've done the minimum needed, which is to finish in the top 4. So that's how it needs to be looked at. Now, again, whether it's because I'm a bit more old school, but I don't like the fact that the top 4 is even a thing. You know, I can remember when it used to be the European Cup, the only way you could play in it was to win your league or win the European Cup the season before. It was the only way you got into it. It was hard to get into it. We didn't have a chance really for a long time because Liverpool were winning the league every year. We never really got close. So it was not something that we really got a chance to think about too much. And when we did finally manage to get there in the late 1980s, of course, we were banned. The English clubs were banned from Europe, so we missed out there. But also as well, I don't know whether or not, again, it comes down to maybe being an Arsenal fan. European trophies haven't been something that we've generally won many of, only 2 in our whole history. So I suppose maybe we as Arsenal fans perhaps don't really judge ourselves on our European successes. We've always been more about the domestic successes, of which, you know, we've had lots and lots of over the years. And maybe that's another reason why I've never looked on the Champions League as the be all and end all. It's good to be in it for the money and the prestige, I suppose, but I've never looked on it and thinking, oh well, this is a trophy that we've got a great chance of winning, because we haven't. I mean, one final we reached, didn't we, in 2006, another semi-final that we've reached, and that's it. So it's not like we've had a series of good runs in the competition, because we haven't. And if anything, I think towards the end of Arsene Wenger's time, it was becoming more of a hindrance to the season, because it seemed as though from 2006 losing that final, it seemed like it was Arsene Wenger's main aim every season, main priority, to do well in the Champions League, to try to win it. And as soon as we got knocked out of it every year, it seemed to knock the stuffing out of the whole season, didn't it? So I feel as though it was maybe more of a hindrance to us, and I certainly feel as it would have been in the last 2 or 3 seasons, when you think that, you know, we've done okay in the Europa League, but domestically we've not done so well, and the chance of us having a decent run in the Champions League over the last few years would have been minimal anyway. So I've actually been pleased that we've not been in it, because at least in the Europa League we've had a chance. We've always got a chance of winning that, haven't we? We've reached the semi-final, we've reached a final, and of course I know this season was a bit of a disappointment in that, but you always feel that we've got a chance, and next season in the Europa League I feel as though we've got a great chance of winning it, and it'll be a European trophy. I say a rare European trophy for us. So I'm not disappointed at all that we're not in the Champions League next season. It would have been nice to have finished 4th and won the FA Cup, of course. But if you had to choose between the two, what would you rather have done? Now, I saw an interview with Perry Groves just after we won the FA Cup, obviously a former Arsenal player, and he said he would rather win the FA Cup than finish second in the league. his reason was that you don't really remember the players that's finished second in the league, but everybody remembers the players who won the FA Cup, because the FA Cup is still the biggest event in the English football calendar. In fact, probably throughout the world, everybody watches the FA Cup final. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. I definitely feel winning the FA Cup is better than finishing second, third or fourth in the league, for me, without question. If you can do both, then that's brilliant. If you can win a trophy and finish in the top four, then that's great. But that's difficult to do. It's traditionally been difficult to do for everybody. So yeah, for me, I definitely agree that winning the FA Cup is a better season, is a more successful season, and it's more. There's more to enjoy, isn't there? I mean, we had all them years, didn't we, finishing top four, and we got mocked almost, didn't we, for is that, you don't win trophies, you just finish in the top four. And now suddenly you've got clubs like Manchester United and Chelsea who aren't winning trophies, and that's suddenly you're understanding the importance of finishing the top four if you're not going to win anything. And now they're celebrating that fact that they've done it this season. So it's almost like, we understand where they're coming from in a way. But certainly from my point of view, all day long I would rather win a trophy. And I actually feel as though the only club this season that's had a more successful season than we have is Liverpool, because they won the Premier League. There's nothing better than winning the Premier League, as far as I'm concerned. That's the ultimate, isn't it? That's the one trophy I'm desperate for us to win again, because that shows you the best team in your league over 38 games. The Champions League is great. We've never won it, and it obviously would be fantastic. Really, really gutted still about that final that we lost. Obviously wearing that yellow top that's just behind me there in the final, didn't we, in Paris? And the disappointment of that was terrible. And I'd love to see us win that trophy at some point. But ultimately, I would rather we won the Premier League the next 10 years than win the Champions League once. That's, for me, that's the priority of it. The Premier League means a lot more. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the season that we've just had, it's only Liverpool that you'd say have had more successful season. You could argue Manchester City finished runners-up in the league. They did win the League Cup. Obviously, they qualified for the Champions League and won a trophy, and it could be argued they've had a better season than us. And yeah, I suppose you could say that that's potentially the case. But I guess from Man City's point of view, I'm sure they'll be disappointed. One, with how far behind Liverpool they were in the league, and the disappointments they suffered in Europe, particularly this week, and they lost the FA Cup semi-final to us. And I feel as though, having won the treble last year, I know that the Champions League was a real massive big trophy for them this year. So I think they're going to feel as though they've had a disappointing season, and I think that would be right with the money that they've spent as well. Obviously, as we said, Man United and Chelsea haven't won a trophy. They finished in the top four, but I still think we've had a more successful season, a better season. And obviously everybody else, you just can't even compare, can you? I know that there's a lot down the road, a deluded bunch down the road who might think that they've had a better season because they finished 6th and we finished 8th, but come on, I think that's ridiculous, isn't it? So let me know what you think in the comments. What is a better season? Is it finishing in the top four and no trophy, or is it winning a trophy but finishing outside the top four, especially if that trophy is the FA Cup as well? Let me know what you think. I personally think it is. I think we've had a great, not a great season, we've had a good season, a successful season. Hopefully next year can be a lot better in the league, but we've won a trophy, and to me that's really, really important. And for a club like Arsenal as well, I think it's what we're about. We're about winning trophies, aren't we? So yeah, for me that always is the priority. That's always the mark of a good season, and for me that's what we've done. But let me know what you think. Would you rather finish in the top four and not win the FA Cup? What about next season? What would you consider a success next season? I do feel as though next season we can compete to get back in the top four again. But ultimately, again, I would rather see us win a trophy, whether it's the Europa League, whether it's the FA Cup. I'd rather see us win that. To me, that's my priority. That's what I want to see next May. Hopefully, it's May. I want to see our captain, hopefully Aubameyang again, going up and lifting a trophy above his head. That's what I want to see. And for me, that's what I hope at a season. And if we finish in the top four as well, brilliant. If we don't, then I'll deal with that, because we've won a trophy, and that, to me, that's more important. But so let me know what you think. I know everyone's got their own different opinions on it. If you like the content on this channel, please like, share and subscribe. I am trying to grow the channel. I've got some exciting stuff planned actually. I've got a live show coming up in the next week or so with a very, very special guest, which I'm really excited about. So stay tuned for that. More details that's going to follow. hoping as well, obviously, for some good transfer news and some contract news coming up as well this week. I think over the next few days, there's a lot of rumours going on. I don't want to get too much into rumours, because for me, a transfer is only a transfer when you see him on the website wearing this lovely shirt, and that's when we know that they're done. And obviously, when anything's confirmed, I'll put a video up on that as well. And also, well, obviously, it won't be long now until the season's back up and running, isn't it? We've got the Community Shield. I think it's a week on Saturday, isn't it? So it's coming around really quickly now, and I'll be doing some previews on that and some other bits and pieces as well. So I'm looking for always going to be putting some different content on to try and keep everybody engaged. Let me know what you think. But say in the meantime, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. It's really important for me to try to help to grow it. And thanks to everybody that's given me support so far. And I hope you're enjoying what I'm trying to do. And I say, until the next video comes up, hopefully very soon with some transfer news, as always, come on you Gunners!